Oh, don't sneak up on me. Sorry, caught me off guard there. I didn't see you suddenly appear in front of me. uh, I was just enjoying some fine literature. I guess it got me on edge. It's almost Halloween. Hey, why don't I try reviewing a comic book? I mean, that's new, right? That's something people do. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell I review, if I review anything. Whatever, it's more of a vlog anyway. The Phantom Stranger. You probably don't know this, but... Well, maybe you do. I don't want to make assumptions about your level of informedness. The Phantom Stranger has been around for 60 solid years now. How to describe the Phantom Stranger? Well, if you don't already know, the Phantom Stranger is the go-to guy where DC Comics is concerned. Whenever they need a mysterious, wise creature or character to step out of the shadows and give the heroes a kind of subtle nudge in the right direction, that's him. The guy who steps out from the shadows and points this way or that way. Well, that's the Phantom Stranger. That's basically the role he's fulfilled, and his real hook as a character is that no one knows who he is. Even as superheroes go, his identity is extra secret because not even the audience has any idea who or what the Phantom Stranger is or what his real motives are. It's generally taken for granted that he is a force for good. And so the superheroes of the world traditionally do trust him as a matter of course, because he's a card-carrying member of the Justice League, I believe. At least he was. Then the New 52 happened. What's the New 52? Well, that's DC's latest reboot. Again, if you don't know, you probably already know this, but this is my take on it by way of just retelling it. DC decided that for whatever reason it had to overhaul its entire universe of canon again. So it did. Why did they call it the New 52? Because DC Comics had a very successful series once, which revolved around the number 52, so therefore, since then, they've tried to stick that number onto as many different projects as possible. Because 52, right? This is the new 52. You like 52, right? So of course, well, here's another 52. You like those numbers, right? Buy it. That's what we want, to make money, because you like the number, right? Obviously, you're responding to the number, not the stories! Sorry. I'm sorry. The New 52, as you can probably tell, hit me kind of hard. I did not take to it well. I wonder sometimes if that's how older fans reacted when Crisis on Infinite Earths came along and rebooted all that continuity. Makes me feel like I'm getting old or something, like maybe I've just gotten tired of the constant recycling. But then again, at least Crisis on Infinite Earths was a compelling story. What did the last few decades of comics get? Just a double-page spread in a Flash miniseries. Ugh. Yeah, okay, long story short, the original Flash came back to life. He traveled back in time to save a loved one. Yeah, like, that hasn't ever turned out wrong, right? Well, he screwed everything up, then he traveled back forward through time trying to fix it, and he did, except he didn't because some cosmic being came out of nowhere. Comics continuity. Now, you might say, why do I care so much? Why should anyone care so much? It's just comics, right? Who cares about comic continuity, right? I mean, you just want to see the superheroes and supervillains beating each other up in their tights and their armor. Well, the thing is, you're supposed to care. The writers of these comics, ostensibly, their whole purpose is to make you care about what you're reading, to believe in it, to see it as real and meaningful, to want to care about the story. And, well, the New 52 has shown me that they don't. Or at least, they don't care that we care. For decades. For as long as I've been alive, I've been following these comics. I've been reading Superman comics and Batman comics and Green Lantern, Hawkman, Green Arrow, so forth and so on, and buying back issues, reading the graphic novels. Some of my favorite stories. because I cared. They succeeded in getting me to care about the characters and their stories. And, you want to find out where the story is leading up to. Even if it goes on forever, you want to imagine that it's all leading up to something, some kind of resolution, some kind of something that's just leading somewhere, that there's some point to all of it. All these struggles and epic adventures that these characters go through. What's it all leading to? Well, now we know. All those decades of stories, all of it, it was leading to nothing. Literally nothing. Because it's all just been wiped out in favor of a new continuity. All the characters have been rebooted, reconfigured into new versions of themselves, different people. And yes, I think that they are legitimately different people. That we've got newer, younger versions of established characters. There's a younger Superman, and the thing is, a person is the sum of his experiences, right? After all the stuff that Superman and Batman and all of them went through to save their world and become who they are, to just have it replaced with some other version. And here's another thing. They're younger. Doesn't that literally make them different people? It's like, you go back in time and you stop George Washington from being born, but then you feel bad about it, so you decide to get his parents back together so that they can have another baby at a later time, who's also going to be named George Washington, but it's not the same George Washington. So, what happened to the Superman that I was following, the one who wore his underwear on the outside? What about him? He's gone. Never existed. Never happened. None of it ever happened. I guess we just weren't supposed to care that much. I guess we were just supposed to tune in and watch the pretty pictures as the people in the silly capes flew around and had their little adventures, And this is one of the worst of them, The Phantom Stranger, all he's been through for 60 years. It's like, you can probably tell, I don't care for this comic all that much. Why did I buy it? Because I wanted to talk about it. And I felt that to legitimately do that, I had to buy it and look through it. And it's worse than I thought. This is Phantom Stranger number 0. It's like an introductory into the series proper. Whoop-de-doo. Phantom Stranger, what have they done to you? Oh, where to begin? Alright, well, for starters, guess what? You know that hook I mentioned earlier? How he's a stranger? No one knows who he is? Screw it. We know who he is. He's Judas. Yeah, from the Bible, Judas Iscariot, who stabbed Jesus in the back. Well, that's him. That's the Phantom Stranger. That's who he is. Isn't that clever? I don't know what bothers me more. That they gave the Phantom Stranger a definitive origin, or that they gave him one so unoriginal and prosaic. Really? They look to the Bible? That's one of the most hackneyed storytelling tropes ever. Dan Didio, the writer. Yeah, nice job, buddy. Way to screw over an enduring character. And of course, Wally West isn't anywhere. He didn't even get a farewell of any kind. No, he just sort of faded away. And now it never existed. Everything that he did, all those comics you bought with Wally West as the Flash, it's just gone. It drives me insane. The Phantom Stranger, though. They turned him into Phantom Stranger. The mystery surrounding his character was the most distinctive thing about 60 years for this. 60 years. 60 years. They've been building this guy up for 60 years. And this is what we get after 60 years of waiting to find out who or what the Phantom Stranger really is. This is the best they could come up with? The plot twist from Dracula 2000? Really? Really? Every one of his secret origins in his issue of Secret Origins was more interesting than that. I'm of the opinion that if you're a writer writing this and you can sum up the Phantom Stranger's identity in 2 words, you're not trying hard enough. Judas. Making him Judas. Why? But it's not like they give him any real depth. According to this, all that happens is a bunch of wizards pluck Judas out of his suicide and turn him into the Phantom Stranger, and Yeah, according to the Phantom Stranger, I never considered myself an evil man, but I committed a mortal sin and was prepared to spend an eternity in hell. Little did I know this new fate would be something far, far worse. What a hack line. Yeah, he's really got it a lot worse than all those poor suckers in hell. I mean, they're down there being raped by giant centipedes, but they take breaks from having unmentionable acidic liquids poured down their throats, and they say to each other, we've got it pretty bad down here, but at least we're not the Phantom Stranger. Now that poor bastard knows what suffering really means. Yeah, well, according to this, no, all that stuff that he went through in the previous continuity, handling cosmic crises and helping out the superheroes, that didn't seem to happen. He just shows up on the street. Apparently he's been wandering around all this time waiting for some kind of cue from a disembodied voice in the sky. It might be God, it might be the other wizards, who knows. But the voice tells him to do something, so he does it without question. And he tracks down this other character. And you know who this other character is? Well, he's a reckless, roughshod cop who doesn't play by the rules. Sort of a dirty Harry type, apparently, Jim Corrigan. And this guy's in the middle of a case, and his girlfriend's been kidnapped by a gangster, and the Phantom Stranger shows up and says, I will lead you to your girlfriend because forces beyond your comprehension have ordered me to do so. And so he does that. But the stranger kind of screws up. His powers lead them to a warehouse that, according to the detective, he never would have thought to look in. And guess what? This warehouse is filled with gangsters. Somehow, apparently, inexplicably, these gangsters were waiting for them or something, and they shoot the police detective to death. And, and he rises up. He's the Spectre. You know who the Spectre is? The Spectre is another long-running DC character. And apparently, this is all they felt like he deserved. This is his whole origin in the New 52, right here, in a few pages in someone else's introductory comic. That's it. How disrespectful is that? I mean, the Spectre and Jim Corrigan, they're legacy characters, too. They've been around for like half a century, longer even than the Phantom Stranger. And this is all they give him? Just, they shoehorn his origin into the Phantom Stranger's origin. What? Why? And guess what? We don't even find out what happened to his girlfriend. The case he's on? It's not resolved here. Maybe it isn't spin-off titles or something. I don't know. I guess she just stays kidnapped. We're never given any explanation why this had to happen, why the cosmic forces, God or whatever, directing the stranger told him to do this, because it really seems to me like a very arbitrary assignment. It's just an errand. There's no moral weight here. There's no test or anything. The Phantom Stranger is just told to go do something, and he does it. And this, this is a new aspect of the character in the New 52. He's got this necklace made up of the 30 pieces of silver, which they don't actually say that he's Judas. It's just implied in a very wink-wink, nudge-nudge kind of fashion. But, it's Judas. We know who it is. They don't even mention Jesus specifically, but we know who it is. It's just obvious. And one of the coins drops off from his necklace, because apparently that means that he has taken one step, just one step, towards redemption. The hell? Why? The voices might just as well have said, you see that paper cup filled with water? You are to go and drink it, and this will be your first step towards redemption. No, instead it's just to go over and screw over some poor guy who, for some reason, we don't know why Jim Corrigan is chosen to be the Spectre, why he deserves this awful fate, which is arguably worse than what the Phantom Stranger has to go through. What was this? Trudging all around the city, just aimlessly doing stuff. Now, but for some reason, that earns him a step towards redemption. Never mind all the superheroes he's helped out, all the stuff that he's done over the centuries. Well, I guess that didn't happen, right? New 52, it's a new continuity, and we're not allowed to know what happened because we weren't around to see it. That's why I hate the New 52 so much. It didn't start anything from square one, really. All it did was replace all the old continuity, which was really convoluted, and replaced it with a new continuity, which is equally convoluted, except we weren't around to see it, so it's even more confusing. What about all the stuff he did with Madame Xanadu, and that's another series, and how does this fit in with anything? Why does this earn him a thing off his necklace? Oh, It's so slipshod. It's like they don't even care. So yeah, that's my review of this comic. It sucks. What do you want? I guess I can't say that. Like Linkara does that, so I'll just say it blows or something. Ugh, man. I could probably do a much better review. Maybe later. It depresses me. Is this really what the DC Universe has been reduced to? Taking characters as epic as the Phantom Stranger and the Spectre and whittling them down until they fit into a mini issue? That's the New 52 in a nutshell. Everything's just bite-sized. The transition from the old DC Universe to the new DC Universe, you know how they handled that? A 2-page spread. That was all the explanation that was given. That was it. There was no homage to what came before. There was no epic struggle, no gathering of heroes. The Flash traveling back in time, that was incidental. This just happened on its way back to the present. You know, some character, it was Pandora, Pandora. She showed up and she smushed all these other universes together because apparently the DC universe, as we knew it, wasn't good enough. Yeah, she said that this universe must be better to protect itself against a new threat, which may or may not come to fruition, but yeah, I guess, so now this new universe, this is a better universe, a stronger universe, which actually wiped out several other smaller universes. Yeah, the DC actually absorbed a bunch of other continuities from other comics companies in doing this, so this is like a black hole of canon destruction. But no, it's all handled in a 2-page spread, and all of a sudden everything's different. Everything we went through, all that time, just wiped away. Ah. Oh. And don't get me started on all the other characters who've been screwed over. Amanda Waller, Batgirl, all 3 of them. That includes Oracle and Cassandra Cain and Stephanie Brown, what's her face? I don't know. I never paid much attention to her. And Wally West. Don't get me started on Wally West. The Flash. He just vanished. And half of these characters, they aren't even in the new universe. You know, DC editorial has explicitly stated that they are not to be used for whatever reason. Maybe they're saving them for later, but it's like they just vanished into thin air without fanfare. Most of the time, when a superhero dies, you know, they at least get a funeral or a montage of their greatest hits. Now, no, it's just like dry erase marker. It's gone. Thanks for making us care, DC. Bunch of pricks.